Welcome to our series on working with the feet. In this video, I'll show you a few yoga poses that have really changed the health of my feet. So the first pose that I'll show you is we'll start working here with the toes. So bring the toes to this position and we slowly add a little bit of weight here onto the toe. So make sure the pinky is on board. Sometimes the pinky decides to curl under, and then you can eventually add a little bit of weight so you can sit on the toes and make sure that the heels aren't escaping to the side, they're staying close together. So here. All right, and as you come back, you'll add more and more weight onto the toes. Sit inversions, which is probably one of the best poses that I've found to really heal the feet. So it takes a little while to come to the ground, so maybe you need a block or two. So you sit on the block and then bring the pinky side towards the mat and spread the toes here. Really getting some length on the front of the feet. So we stretch the back of the leg and the front of the leg. I have lots of videos on how to do Virasana. I'll link them below so you can take a look and see how to do those poses if you are a lot tighter and even sitting on one block is impossible. So I link those below for you. I'm going to roll up a mat here. So I have a little rolled mat and I'm going to place it underneath my heels so that I can sit in a squatting position. So making sure that I'm not turning my foot out or my feet out, they're both parallel, and I can squat here. So sitting in a squat position is really great for your feet to make sure that they're all on board. And squat, pressing the heels down to the ground, spreading the toes, making sure I'm not collapsing. I sit on a few blocks. I can bring my feet to this position. So I work on one foot at a time. So what I want to make sure is that my foot is in contact with this block so that my heel is not coming back. All of my toes should be in this flexed position here, and I work here. And I want to make sure that my knees are lower than my hips. So if I'm sitting like this, I need to add some height underneath my sit bones so that my knees are lower than the hip. Eventually, I can work with both feet. So I want to make sure that the balls of the pinky are touching. And so it's a lot of times what happens, we can touch these balls together, but the balls of the pinky are apart. So make sure that those come together and I can sit like this. If this is still too much, I'll show you a variation, but so then what we want to start doing is bringing the heels forward, and then you'll notice you bring the heels forward and the balls of the pinky come apart. So then, and then the mounds of the pinky, I should say. So bring the mounds of the pinky together and the heels forward. Standing poses where you're not collapsing the arch of the foot, you're not collapsing that inner ankle, are going to really help the health of the feet, making it stronger and healthier and balancing the whole body. But in inversions, we can really use this idea of lifting the arch to energize the body, and you can see how even in an inversion, working the feet can change the quality of your pose. Okay, in this exercise, we're gonna work on not collapsing that inner ankle. So a few things you can do to prevent that. So here we have a collapsed ankle. That ankle is just collapsed. So it's an inner rotation of this ankle versus that outer rotation of the ankle. So of the points underneath the mounds of the big toe and pinky, and the points on the inner and outer ankle there, and pressing those, lifting all of the arches, especially that fourth arch and this stronger arch. So lift those arches and press the, the support points for the arches, and then here's your arch. All right, and now I'll show you how to look at this relationship. So if the knee is rotating in, okay, if the knee is rotating in here, then it's likely that this will collapse as well. So if the knee not rotates out, but if the knee is not collapsing in, you have a better chance. So the knee should be pointing straight up, and then you have a chance to rotate this out and keep that integrity in the leg. And so the knee gets pulled up. So if I pinch the top of my knee here, I can move the kneecap up. So I can use my, quads to pull up my knees. All right, so I work here, I lift the kneecap instead of pushing the knee down towards the mat. So kneecap comes up. All right, and so I'm going to tie this belt, and I want this belt to rotate my knee out. So I make a loop, and I place the loop on the inside of the leg, and then grab the rest of the belt so that you have the loop, the belt went in the loop, and it will look like this, right? This part here. And so it creates a little knot there that you can then rotate the knee out. All right. My foot is on the wall. I bend the knee a little bit. I rotate that knee out, and then I press the foot, and I keep this external rotation. So you can use, if you have a tendency to collapse your knee in, you can use this technique where if this is collapsing in, I'm going to use the belt, rotate my knee out, and then teach this inner ankle here not to rotate in with the knee. And rotate the knee out, and that hopefully helps see the collapse of the ankle there. Rotate the knee out. Knee rotates in, there's a collapsed ankle here. So rotate the knee out and play with that until you can bend the knee, straighten the knee without having that knee collapse back in. And keep this from collapsing in. So this is a very common habit to collapse this in, and sometimes it happened before the knee. Sometimes the knee gets injured and something happens to the ankle. So make sure that the knee rotates out so that this remains rotating out, and then lift the arches. I hope you enjoyed this video working with the feet and different poses that you can do to start strengthening and working on the feet. On my next video on the feet, I'm going to show you how to do a really incredible foot massage to energize the feet, bring life into the feet, and help you on your journey of healthier, happier feet. Thank you for watching.